Okay, you played your opponent safe, and now it's their turn at the table. Do shots like these ever happen to you? Well, if so, you're in the right place. Today I'm going to show you how you can avoid shots like these, and I'm also going to teach you one of pool's top 5 secrets. So stay tuned. Hello, I'm Master Instructor Anthony Beeler, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Do You Want to Play Like a Pro? This week I'm happy to announce that we're well over 6,000 subscribers, and we are continually climbing towards our goal of 10,000 subscribers. Now remember, once we reach 10,000 subscribers, we're going to be holding our big giveaway where we're going to be giving away cues, we're going to be giving away books, we're going to be giving away ball sets and t-shirts and caps and even a ball set signed by world champion Nick Varner. And we're also going to be giving away several training aids and pool lessons. So be sure to go to poolteacher.com and get registered for our big giveaway. It's only a few weeks away and you don't want to be left out. Again, go to poolteacher.com and click on the button that says YouTube giveaways and get registered as soon as possible, because 10,000 subscribers is just around the corner and I know we're going to get there fast. Once a month, I'm going to unveil a top pool secret. And so in today's episode, we're going to look at secret number 5, and we're going to work all the way up to secret number 1. So over the next 5 months, you're going to gain some valuable knowledge about how to make your game better. So be sure to tune in every single week and don't get left out. You don't want your friends to know these secrets and use them against you during the middle of a match. In this lesson, we're going to address how you can go from good to great. And today I'm going to talk about one of pool's top 5 secrets. Specifically, we're going to address safety play. You know, in the videos that we showed earlier, have you ever left your opponent safe and one of those things happened to you? Did they kick and luck a ball in, or maybe kick at the ball and get it safe? Well, chances are you probably aren't playing your best safeties if they're getting out of the safety that you're playing. So that's what we're going to address today. What makes a great safety? And we're going to look at all different aspects. And whenever you leave today, your game's going to be better than it was ever before. And so just knowing this and practicing it is going to improve your pool game. So stay tuned and we'll show you all about it. A lot of times you'll see amateur players play, and the first thing that an amateur player or even a good player might do is when they see 2 balls that are close to one another is, they will recognize the safety and they'll go up to the shot and then they shoot and stop. And in a lot of ways, that's a pretty good safety. I block my opponent from striking the one directly, and it's on the other end of the table. However, the problem with this safety is my opponent can kick at the one, and they can kick at it with speed. Anytime my opponent can get a lot of speed on the shot, then that gives them a greater chance of either lucking the ball in or separating the cue ball from the object ball, putting one end of the table and the other on the other end, and leaving me a lot of distance. So those are things that you have to consider. Anytime that your opponent can kick at the ball and kick at it with speed, there's a decent chance something good is going to come out of it for them. And you'll see I kicked at that ball and You'll note that I kicked and I made the 8 ball, and I will be able to continue my run from here because of a bad safety. A better way to play safety would be to cut off the cushion. And you know, you'll hear a lot of people say you need to freeze the cue ball to the other ball. Well, that isn't necessarily true. That's true to some degree, but it isn't always necessarily true. You know, I could shoot this 1 ball here, and I could freeze it to the 5 right there, but I can still kick to this cushion and put some speed on it, and there's a chance that something good could happen to me if I was left this shot. So freezing the cue ball to a ball isn't always the best answer. The best answer, or the secret to playing good safeties, is to cut off the cushion. You want to take your opponent's ability to put speed on the kick out of the equation. So here's what a good safety would look like. Now you'll notice here, the cue ball is not frozen to the 5 ball. There's probably 1/8 of an inch between the two. However, the cushion is cut off, and now my opponent cannot go to the long cushion and go at the 1 with any degree of speed. That's a true secret to moving up a level. Whenever you understand that you don't want your opponents kicking at balls with speed, then that's going to bump your game up a notch. And again, you don't have to freeze your opponent to the ball. The most important thing that you can do is cut off the cushion, because now he can't go to this cushion and try to hit the 1. In fact, if he's going to try to strike the 1, the best option now is 1 rail like this jacked up over top of a ball. And there's going to be no way he can put any real degree of speed on this shot. The speed's going to be gone by the time it gets down here to the 2nd cushion. And you'd have to be pretty lucky to come out of this shot better off than you were before. You'll see I failed there, but that was because of the good safety that was played. Another thing you have to be really careful about is when you're playing safe, you don't want to group the 1 ball or the lowest numbered ball on the table with the 9, even though you may bury your opponent somewhere. It's never good to group those together, because once they're grouped together, then something good could happen. You know, I could go to the cushion, hit this rail, hit the 1 first, and then play the carom on the 9 and actually win the game from here. That's a real possibility. And while that's a slim chance, it could happen. So always avoid grouping the lowest numbered ball with the 9 ball. You're much better off doing something like that. Again, here they're not frozen, but the cushion's cut off. That's the important thing. And when you're practicing your safeties, practice trying to cut off the cushion. It's a touch. It's a touch thing. You got to practice it over and over and over again. But once you gain the ability to cut off the cushion, it's one of those things that will help move your game from good to great. And again, the most important principle, or the real secret to playing safe, is to cut off the cushion. It isn't to freeze it to a ball, but it's to cut off the cushion and cut out your opponent's ability to kick at the object ball with speed. Another real secret to playing safe well is to never leave the ball near a cushion. There's a lot of kicking systems out there, and those kicking systems go to certain diamonds on the table. And if your opponent knows the system or has a good feel of the rails, they're going to be much more capable of striking that ball than if it were out in the middle of the table somewhere. So here's another principle that you need to adopt. When playing safe, leave the object ball out in the middle of the table when you can. And you'll see that's a really good safe there. The one ball's out in the middle of the table. The cushion's cut off. This is going to be a very, very difficult kick to hit. Another defensive strategy that's used is playing the object ball into a group of balls while hiding your cue ball behind another ball. And the reason that you want the object ball to go near a group of balls is whenever your opponent kicks, there's a much greater chance that they might be off just a little bit and strike one of those other balls attempting to go with the lowest numbered ball. And so putting the object ball near traffic is always helpful. What you got to be careful about is, like I said before, leaving the lowest numbered ball to where that your opponent can kick at it and play some kind of combination or kiss and get themselves out of trouble. That's a big no-no. But when you can leave it in traffic, you know, and block them with a ball up here and then stick the object ball in traffic down there, then it's going to be much more difficult to negotiate. Okay, that's a perfect example. I didn't get them froze there. However, the cushion is cut off for the kick, and if they try to go into it 2 or 3 rails, chances are they may clip the 7 or the 4. There's a lot of traffic down there that they could run into, so that's a real advantage on my end, just leaving that ball down there amongst 5 other balls there. Okay, here's another example of a great safety. At first glance, it looks like that the best option is to just cut the 1 to the left slightly and play the cue ball behind the 5 and leave them a difficult kick, which looks something like this. And that's a pretty good safety. But they can go the long way and kick at the 1, and you know, something good could happen to them. There is that out there. So even though that's a good safety, a better safety would be to do this. Now the cushion's cut off, the long cushion's cut off, and I did something very productive there just by knowing to use the 2 balls to nestle the 1 behind the other balls. So now my opponent's in deep trouble. You know, there's no length of the table way to go at it unless you go 3 rails, and then, wow, that's a really difficult hit. And on top of that, I'm not going to be able to get enough speed on it to do any good. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Do You Want to Play Like a Pro? I certainly hope that this lesson on safety play will improve your pool game. Don't forget, when playing safeties, it's important to cut off the cushion and limit your opponent's ability to put speed on the object ball when they kick at it. Don't forget, it's important to never group the lowest number ball with the 9 when playing safe. If you group the 2 together, there's a great chance that your opponent can kick at it and pocket the 9, and you just don't want that to happen. So a better option would be to leave the object ball out in the middle of the table somewhere, because if you leave it out in the middle of the table, it's a much more difficult shot to hit than it would be if you're leaving it near a cushion. Today's players know the diamond systems, they know the rails, and if you leave it near a cushion, there's just a good chance they're going to kick and hit that ball. And finally, don't forget, when at all possible, if you can leave the object ball within a group of balls, that's going to make it more difficult to hit as well. Thanks for watching this week, and don't forget to go to my website, poolteacher.com, and register for our big giveaway. You don't want to be left out on all these wonderful prizes, and we're just a few weeks away. Thanks again for watching, and I hope everyone has a great week.
It's just one of those amazing classes that you can never forget. It's one of those classes that can really get you going where you want to go with the game.
It's the best online course on pool out there.
It's been really cool working with Anthony from home. I've already learned so much.
I love the course. It is easy to use and available 24/7, which fits well with my busy schedule.
Luckily, I stumbled upon Anthony Beeler's online courses, so I signed up, and within 3 or 4 months, my game had improved dramatically.
It will definitely improve your game.
When I did go back to the regional tournament, finally after 7 years, I got first place. They bumped me up to the next division. I went back the following year. I got first place in that division the first year. I can't say highly enough how much Anthony's courses have helped me, and I have no doubt they will help you too. If you do have any questions, he's available on the phone calls. He answers your questions very quickly.
Someone asked me about Anthony Beeler's Virtual Billiard Academy class. Go all the way.